So we're here in the WiT Studio with Jiha Jung, the founder of Tripbtoz. Jiha, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me and having this opportunity to share what we do.
Pleasure to have you here. I want to start by asking you, so Tripbtoz blends content, commerce and community, right? So you have like UGC, user-generated videos, social features. How do you balance these three pillars or these few pillars that you have? And do you ever face tension between content first versus commerce first? Because there's always a difference, right? There's a tension there.
All right, so I think I should give some of the background why I started the business back in 2013.
Right.
And back in 2013, I was at Cornell, and there's a lot of startup competitions at the university. And one of the competition that we won at the stage was exactly the same idea that I have pitched, which we have this. Actually, it's not three different pillars. We have a strong foundation of contents with commerce and community pillars. So that's not separate three different pillars, but it's based on the contents so that we can create a future ecosystem. That's what I pitched. And with that opportunity, I was able to interview to the Expedia and work there for 3.5 years and eventually started the business in 2017. And what I see, our most of the strong strength is this. We are not setting these three different elements as a pillars. We connect community through the contents. Also, we connect commerce through the contents. So for instance, our celebrity and travelers, they upload their own travel experiences, whether it's the destinations or the accommodations. Whenever they upload, it's a travel information, and they can sell that through the worldwide users. Also, the traveler themselves, they're connected within our community. They share their own travel experiences and information. And there's some cases that I want to share with you. We have a lot of family travelers as well. And they, with a young baby as well. And whenever they go to Tokyo, the stroller is one of the harsh point for them to borrow. So there was 7 different family tripper within our company who just ran it to one another. They just give it to the next one. So that's how we created the community and linked the people through our ecosystem.
Right. What is a growing trend, right? Because after you've explained that, so you said they're not actually pillars, so I guess they're all interconnected and they blend into one another. So what is a growing trend or technology that you're looking forward to the most in terms of scaling Tripbtoz?
All right, so the recent technology, we cannot avoid the AI. So AI is interfering in our daily lives.
Right?
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
It's what we have done for the last 2 years. Since 2 years ago, we adapted first with ChatGPT, and we started to use the paid version since two years ago with entire employees that within our organizations. And what we witnessed within that 2 years was the productivity increased 250% compared to 2 years ago.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
We are not only using one LLM tool, we are using 7 different LLM tools from GPT to Cursor. And you know what? That's really increasing the individual's productivity of UI UX designer, computer science, the programmers, or even salespeople by asking questions and answering to the chat GPTs. So these are the first side that we see those disruptions and increasing the productivity per persons. And the second part is more about the innovations of our users. We have 2 different users. First is our suppliers, accommodations. There's accommodation, we started to give them a AI report, which AI gives you the insights of the occupancy rates, RevPAR, what time it will be vacant so that they can do revenue management. So it's automatically AI reports, produce the report for the suppliers. On the other side, customers. So customers, we also have a virtual humans that is based on the AI. They talk to the users, they share some of the information that is shared within our ecosystem, and that gives them in advance information before they go to the certain hotel or certain destinations. So that's how we adopted AI.
Right. So you've adopted AI, you've adopted the LLMs, you're using them across your ecosystem. As these giants like TikTok and Expedia, they lean into experiences and social commerce, right? Do you see that as validation for your company or as competition? And how do you keep that unique edge for Trip B2C?
I think it's both to answer your questions. But when we look into, for instance, TikTok, so TikTok, it's a community base. Their foundation is community, and they need to set two pillars, which would be, the first one would be contents, the second would be commerce. I don't think that's a doable. On the other side, for instance, Expedia or Booking.com, Agoda, they're based on the commerce. They want to set two different pillars. The first one is community, and the second part is contents. I think that's the biggest a differentiation from and the initiating point, the starting point of our company compared to those giant social medias or giant OTAs. So we are born to be content. And the key part that we believe that we have very strong over those global giant is where we started. We started our company in Seoul, and we have about 3.5 million of Korean young users who are very good at taking videos. They're very willing to share their own travel experiences, and they're much more welcoming with us global young travelers. So these are the very strong foundation that we have been built since we operated the business. So I think that might be a good edge for us compared to those competitors.
Right. So just to recap, you're saying that for TikTok, it has to be content first, community first, and then it goes into commerce. Whereas for big companies like Expedia, Booking, it's commerce first, and then they have to build community experiences around it. Right. You've expanded into Southeast Asia, so like Singapore as well, and the US markets. You're operating there. What has surprised you the most when localizing Trip B2Z outside Korea? Because you said you started in Seoul. In terms of the culture and the operations, is there a different, or do you just maintain the same sort of approach?
I would say I had a two different organization work experience. The first was Hyundai, and the second was Expedia, and then the third is my own company. And those two combination of working experience in one of the conglomerate of South Korea and one of the giant OTA in the world, that really gives me a good insight how to run into the global spaces. For instance, Hyundai. When we look into Hyundai, they started in 1970, where Korea was not strong as what we know now. There's nothing much. They don't speak, my father generation, they don't speak good English. Also, the way that we have to overcome from the war that we had in 1950, we started from the scratch. But our entrepreneur at the time, including Hyundai, Samsung, LG, they knew that even though they don't have a good communication skill, they were very strong at executions. I think that part really led our economy to grow until these stages. And the second experience is at Expedia. It's a beautiful company. Powered by Expedia Group. And a few minutes ago, I met so many people from Expedia. He worked for the vice president of Trip.com, one from Traveloka. They're all over the different industries. Expedia have a very strong culture globally. And with that two combination of experiences in Hyundai and in Expedia, I realized that we have to trust the manpower. For instance, we go into the Jakarta and Bali market. In Jakarta, we hire the local employees where they have very strong passion and also eagerness to share our vision, which is to connect travelers through this community. And they are very well English-speaking people. So it's a 90 to 10 rule. 90, we have to trust our manpowers. That's the starting point. And 10, that's how we empowering through our vision and missions. So that's the where we were able to globalize and started to tap into the different nations and different markets.
Right. So, when you mentioned the strong culture that companies like Expedia has, you also mentioned that you have a strong culture in your company. So it's that brand voice, that branding, the kind of voice you want to put forward to the consumers, right? So I want to know, as you scale into these new markets, how do you maintain that founding culture? Speed of decision, risk tolerance, agility, all those things, while adding layers of regulation, localization to fit that culture that you're moving into.
So, surprisingly, a lot of employees in our organization, they are also celebrated within our application as well. You know what? Easiest way to engage your employee is to become a fan of your brand. So meaning, initially back in 2014 again, when I was thinking about why online travel agencies still they've been running a business for 20 years. In 2014, when I started to think about this business model, but they're still innovating inside of the organization. I was questioning why still those global giants has a power, and even the Google, all the search engines interfering in this world, how they can protect their own territory. So I think by answering those giants, how they defend and how they strongly struggle and also get renovation through this new technology that they have within their organization, I think the key part was this: how employee become fan of your brand. So our employees for now, they upload their own travel videos, and by sharing their own travel videos, they earn trip cash, which they can use it for next travel. That's how we engaged Indonesia employees as well, and the people who work for us.
Right. So make them believe in the brand enough that they are using it for themselves.
Yes, right. So they're engaged. They're one of the fans that you have.
Right. I learned something new when researching Tripbtoz. Travel to Earn, that's your ecosystem, that's the name of your ecosystem. If you could fix one challenge in the Travel to Earn ecosystem today, right, what would it be and why?
So that's one of the key parts that runs our ecosystem. So whenever user upload travel content, if you have a conversion through that content, we incentivize. When the travelers share their own information within our community, we incentivize. That's how we build loyalty. And the key part that I believe we should do for now and go forward is closely working with this big giant Visa, MasterCard. So they have a huge point system, which we also have a point system, but not like them. So we have to scale up and sharing our points trip cash with the Visa or the MasterCard. And also share Visa and MasterCard, they have a lot of points in their organization as well, the users. They can use it through our inventories. I think that might be a good, another pivot point for us to expand to the global users.
Right. You mentioned AI just now. You've adopted AI, adopted the LLMs. When it comes to AI, it's so good at making content now that, content creators are at risk, photographers are at risk, people who design are at risk. But as a company that's adopting AI fast and using it in the ecosystem and is also dependent on content and community-generated content, how are you mapping the growth of AI against Tripbtoz's own growth? Like, what if AI starts doing all the things that a normal person can do, like a human being can do?
You know what? I totally agreed with your point and most of the roles. If you see the programmers, cursor, and even GPT is working way better.
Yeah, and they're fast.
I know. And you know what? If I ask to draw the elephant, if you use AI, they draw elephant exactly.
Yeah.
But if you go through UI UX designer and design comes and programmer, it's not elephant that you look for. It's like something else that it never exists in the word. So only one thing that I wouldn't think for the next 10 years that will not replaced by AI will be what human creates. That's whenever we took the videos or photos with our, for instance, travelers, with your friends or family, there is an emotion inside. The emotion is something that AI cannot mimic. It's so easy for us to type down and to create the contents, and AI will create that for you. But we are not attached to that content because emotionally that AI content is not created by human beings.
Right.
That's the user side AI disruptions. I believe within 10 years it will be not be replaced. On the supply side as well, many jobs will be replaced, but the sales won't be replaced. It's more about connecting to you and myself. The salesman from OTA still need to go to the hotel to connect with this hotel manager or revenue managers. So I think that's the part that AI will facilitate but not replace within 10 years.
Right. And it's also two things, right? It's somehow we as people, as humans, we know when we're speaking to a bot, we're speaking to a machine, we can see it in the content. Like we know, like it looks pretty, it looks polished, but there's something raw about human content.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. In closing, I want to ask you as the last question. Like many startups chase the super app status, like apps want to become super apps, transform or evolve into super apps, one-stop shops. Do you see Trip B2Z becoming a travel super app? If yes, how? And if no, why not?
So if that super app norm is from the norm that we know together, the answer is no. What I know about super app is starting from the commerce-based platforms like Amazon, Expedia, Booking, Agoda, Trips. They're based on selling the experiences or selling the products. When they mean the super app, meaning they become a huge supermarket selling everything. So one of the Korean OTA, based from the commerce, they're even selling a coffee coupon within their app. I think that's a super app for the commerce area. But what we envision and the way, the pinpoint that we are on the path is not that super app. What we believe our super app is creating the ecosystem for those travelers who can be connected to one another by sharing the contents. And also through that contents, we connect those two different pillars. Again, community and commerce. So what we believe about the super app for us is creating an ecosystem by one element of the travel, which we believe is accommodations. When we have a power of inventories, power of lowest available rates of the accommodations, we will be able to capture the global travelers because they need to book the hotel. Once we capture them, we have about 1,200 bookings per day recently. About 1,200 bookings per day, 30% of the users, they just download the app. And they see our app, whether the first question is, what is this platform going on? Why people share their own experiences like a TikTok? Is that a commerce or community? People are kind of like confused. But whenever they get used, and we have some of the training program within our applications, and they get used to it, and they just come daily basis to meet our users, travelers, and they want to upload their own contents, sharing their experiences. They want to also share good information, bad information. And I would say it's the different way to become a super app within our industry that we believe we are disrupting the travel industry and also the industry that is what it's upcoming. We call that big player.
Right. Awesome. Jiha, thank you so much for doing this.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you.